Yo, what up everybody, it's your boy the Kryptonian saying here, bringing you yet another Boruto discussion. And today I want to have a discussion about something that is probably going to trigger a lot of Naruto Uzumaki fans and people who absolutely cannot stand Boruto Uzumaki, which is Boruto Uzumaki's role in the death of Naruto. Now, I'm not saying that Boruto is going to kill Naruto. That's not what I'm saying. We're not going to see father versus son. This is not some Star Wars type shit, but I do want to say outside of that, and then the theory that is very popular in the fandom that Boruto is going to become a rogue ninja, perhaps work with Kara at some point, that's not going to be the basis for this video. So before I go any further, I want to give anyone who is an anime only viewer, this is an opportunity to click off, because I'm not going to dive into major spoilers from the latest Boruto chapter, though I am going to be talking about one panel at the very end. It's a small spoiler in my opinion, so you can watch this video without having the entirety of the future events of the Boruto series spoiled for you. But if you want to go into the anime adaptation of the next few parts of the Boruto manga without being spoiled, then I highly recommend checking out another video, because I am going to be diving into a small spoiler from the current Boruto manga arc, which is called the Kawaki arc. So if you're still here, I'm assuming you're completely okay with me discussing anything that is spoiler related. So when you go back to the last few pages of the new Boruto chapter, in particular when you get to the last panel, one of the things we see is Naruto looking over his shoulder, and the way that he's looking in the panel, he's looking down at Kawaki, even though they're not currently in the same place, and that's pretty telling. But also the other thing is Boruto is saying we need to take him back to the Hidden Leaf Village. So essentially, when you think about it, Boruto is bringing the person who may or may not have killed his father back to the Hidden Leaf Village, which means that he's indirectly setting this up. And what I think is very important, right, is when you look at the very first episode of Boruto Naruto Next Generations, there are a lot of small tidbits in there that are foreshadowing that Boruto is indeed going to be playing a indirect role in the death of Naruto if Kawaki did indeed kill him. I know that's a very tough pill for a lot of people to swallow, but it's a possibility we have to take into account. So when you go to the very first episode, one of the things that should stand out to you is obviously that iconic moment where Kawaki says, I'm going to send you the same way the 7th, and you see all the Hokage faces on the monument completely wrecked and destroyed, which shows you that however Kawaki or whoever is helping him attack the Hidden Leaf Village, they gave zero fucks. They destroyed everything on the top level and they destroyed everything on the bottom level. Essentially, like Kawaki was saying, symbolically the way of the shinobi is done, the ages shinobi is done. However, the other thing you have to look at in this episode, which is something I pointed out when I was reviewing the Boruto anime, is when you look at that scene, one of the things that's very important is at the end you see Boruto crashing the rail car train into Naruto's Hokage face, and it creates a crack on it. If I'm not mistaken, that crack covered about half of Naruto's face, and I think that's a very symbolic way of Kodachi and perhaps the anime team just showing that whatever happens to Naruto, Boruto is at least going to be halfway responsible for it. And I think that now is the time to even be talking about this, because just looking at the anime schedule, by now you guys should have already seen the ending of the Boruto Naruto the movie adaptation in the anime, which means you've seen Boruto and Naruto. They've made up their past differences. Father and son are now going to work harder to try to understand each other. They have the whole fist bump. Boruto tells Naruto, I want to learn more about you, and you see them starting to rebuild the foundation of their relationship. And I think that when you look at that and you look at the whole thing with Momoshiki saying that Boruto's blue eyes are going to take everything away from him, I think that's another tidbit of foreshadowing that is indeed setting up Naruto Uzumaki being written out of the series, whether that be death or whether that be Naruto sealed away. However that is, I do think that Boruto bringing Kawaki back to the Hidden Leaf Village is going to be what essentially gets the ball rolling on this. Now, I know a lot of people will be triggered by the fact that Boruto, if this pans out, is going to be indirectly responsible for having his father killed. You have a lot of Naruto fans, and a lot of those fans are very hesitant to even embrace anything that is Boruto Uzumaki related because they're still holding on to memories of Naruto, and that's not a bad thing. We're currently seeing this with the whole LeBron James going to the Lakers, which I am a Lakers fan, by the way, been a diehard fan, and I suffered through the Robert Sacre and the Ryan Kelly years when they were under Coach Mike D'Antoni, or Coach Antoni, because he didn't play any, his team didn't play any defense at the time, which is another discussion which I might put up on my other channel. But I say that to say you have a lot of Kobe fans who are very hesitant to even embrace the LeBron James era that is in the Lakers Nation chapter, and so the same thing's going on with Boruto. A lot of people are pushing back against Boruto because he is not Naruto Uzumaki, and I think that when you look at what the anime is doing with this bit of foreshadowing, this is something that's either going to have a huge payoff or it's going to be something that has a very we just fucked up experience. So I want to know what you guys think. Do you think that this is indeed possible? Do you think that Boruto bringing Naruto into interaction with Kawaki is going to be something that starts up this whole thing of Naruto potentially dying? Currently in the Boruto timeline, we're still 3 years before Kawaki even attacks it in Leaf Village. You have to remember the Boruto scene where you have Boruto versus Kawaki. Boruto and Kawaki are both 16 at that point. They're currently 13 years old at this point in the Boruto manga. So we have another 3 years before we even get to that fight, which means Naruto's fate, at least in the timeline for the next 3 years, is still unknown. But you have to remember, if Kodachi is doing anything similar to what Kishimoto's did, he is going to be using some type of build up and foreshadowing, and even more so with the anime, because a lot of people are more visual. Like I've said in other videos, when it comes to manga, in particular with the Western fans, we ain't trying to read shit, which I personally think is a very sad thing because the manga is on fire right now. But you have to look at it from this perspective. The foreshadowing is there, and even in the Boruto Naruto the movie arc, in particular with Naruto's interactions with some of the other Kages, the foreshadowing is there that something's going to happen to Naruto. And I think it will be so poetic if, when that moment comes, Boruto has that moment of clarity where he realizes that what Momoshiki told him was true, and that the father that he has bonded with and made up with, he's responsible for potentially losing him, whether that be through death or whether that be through him being sealed away. So let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. But as always, if you like anything I had to say, don't forget to comment, rate, subscribe, and share. Thank you so much for watching. Have an awesome day, guys.